Hi everyone, I'm Jude Hotep, the Goddess Astrologer and Alchemical Initiatrix. This is the Light Goddess Astrology Daily for June 3rd, 2022, Friday. I'm going to share the chart with you. I hope you're doing amazing, and we're going to pull some cards as well. So I'm just sharing this chart with you today that we have this Gemini energy with the sun in Gemini, but with Mercury being in retrograde, it's not the usual Gemini season or time where it's that more of that really young, youthful, buzzy energy and lots of fun. And so we're almost kind of having an abridged Gemini season. So realizing that it's a different Gemini season than typical times. Um, what's important to understand about today is that Mercury has gone direct 26 degrees of Taurus, and that tomorrow Saturn is going retrograde. So when Saturn goes retrograde, it can be very frustrating. Saturn represents our everyday world, the big institutions, the structures, the way that our world functions. It represents those you know living life, the tangible life, very Capricornian types of values. So it's very much like big institutions, banking, the way our society functions. So those types of things and just the way you're running your life day to day is maybe going to have some headaches and some frustrations. And so it's really a time to realize that there's only certain things that are of importance, and that's what your intuition is leading you to moment to moment to moment. And so really tapping into that divine feminine intuition always, and realizing that the Saturn issues, they're not important. It's kind of showing us what's important and what's not. Saturn retrograde is like really showing us, like, you focus on all these things that are really not important. There's really not a disaster. Nothing's really going to catch on fire. Nothing's really going to be wrong. Like, you're not going to bleed if these things aren't taken care of, or if they're taken care of later, or if different things happen. And so it's realizing that it's okay to, when things don't work, to release frustration first of all, but to realize that it's just going to be a time where only the most important things on your divine mission, on your path, and that are really connected to your intuition leading you, and that are really in that flow place, that surrendered flow place, is what's going to allow you to move through this time where it might feel like a wooden roller coaster, where it's like it might feel very disjointed and not necessarily flowing easily, but it's like, listen to where it's not flowing and go to where it is flowing. Very much more of a surrendered place. With all this Mars energy, with Mars at home in Aries, and then Jupiter expanding that Aries energy, Mars at home makes that Aries energy very strong. It's kind of pushing this caboose of the planets, pushing Venus and Uranus and Mercury and the sun all forward, saying that, like, we want to be on the adventure. We want to really initiate the things that are the most important to us, and take action, and take that aligned action with our intuition, and to have fun, to really to move our dreams out of our mind, which with all these 4 months from the beginning of the year, this acute Pisces energy with Jupiter and Neptune and Venus and Mars all having been in Pisces together, it's so much drifting out to sea, dreamy, drifty, whatever energy. And so it's like, now this Jupiter and Mars are saying, like, let's expand on the adventure, and let's go on the adventure, and let's look at life as an adventure. Let's, Jupiter is our belief system. So it's like, what are you believing that it's not an adventure? How are you not believing in Aries? Like, the 12 zodiac signs are the archetypes for our life. They're sections of our life. They're parts of our life. They represent the parts in all of us, but the parts of life that we all must do, right? So like Capricorn is our sacred calling, and taking up space in the world, and getting, the plants from the garden all the way to the cooked meal, like bringing something from focus to fruition. And so, you know, Gemini is like the curiosity and that youthful energy that helps create ideas and also communicating them and making intellectual property. And so it's like on and on and on. All the zodiac signs, the 12 starry spokes, all are parts of our life. And so this Aries energy is like Jupiter is saying, like, what is the beliefs that you have about life, your worldview about life? Like when you put life at the top of your page and you write about it and all your thoughts down about it, what are your thoughts? That it's a struggle, that it's a challenge, that it's hard, that like life's a bitch and then you die. Like, look at all these programming that's been in the collective for so long. It's like we have to deprogram that stuff from our own psyche. And so this is a really great exercise that I give my clients in Alchemical Goddess, my coaching program, where it's like put life at the top of the page and write down everything that you believe about life and everything that you catch yourself saying about life. Life's so hard, life's this, life's that. Like you're spelling words yourself into that being true for you when you get to choose what you believe. And this is the day to really do that effort because Saturn's going retrograde. And so we won't be really having anything new in our like physical tangible reality coming in, and we're going to be dealing with what we have done up to this point. We're going to be really in this time of a Saturn like reflection, and handling everything that we've been doing when Saturn's been forward motion. And so we're going to be in this retrograde, like doing all of that now, honing it, mastering that, working with that material. So like if it's in your business, if it's in your mind, if it's in your heart, if it's in your life, like what you have in your life. So today is the day to really like cut cords with people that it's just not a good relationship. Today's the day to just say like, I'm no longer handling this behavior. Today's the day to say, I just don't want to be around these people anymore. Today's the day to stand up for yourself. Today's the day to speak up and speak your truth and speak your heart. If you're not speaking your highest truth, you're attracting people to you that are not your soul tribe and your kindred people, because you're not speaking your truth. So they're attracted to whatever that shadow is that's making you blocked from being in your highest truth always, right? And speaking that truth. It's so many people don't know how to walk away from a situation. They're like, I have to be polite. That's a spell. No, you don't. I'm not saying be mean to people, but also it's not really polite of other people to suck your energy. There's a lot of energy suckers, and they'll just keep talking about inane stuff that's like nothing. They're not even talking about anything. And so it's like, just walk away. You don't have to be polite. You don't have to wait for them to pause. They're never going to pause. They're never going to stop the essay that they're speaking. It's a monologue here. So just walk away. Like, take care of yourself, take care of your energy. We have to stop living by all of these supposed customs in society that don't allow our spirit to actually be free from conditioning, free from these put upons by society, these introjects of how to live. Like, this is the right way to live. No, the right way to live is by your heart, your truth. Because if you live by that, then you're living by divine law, not man-made law, human-made law that is not divine, that we don't know what it is. We don't know the lens that person was seeing through, a patriarchal lens, a domination lens, a out for their own best interest, of course, right? Everyone is going to have that desire to want to take care of themselves, but there's levels of consciousness, and there's a lot of people that are really have the dark traveling through them, and they're in positions of lawmaking and positions of rule making, and so they're making these laws and rules through that lens, through that desire. And so we have to realize that there's nothing you actually have to do. So like, stop have toing on yourself. This Mercury going forward is going to be a lot of insight coming forward. Everything that you really looked at during this retrograde kind of churning the past up and really reviewing it, putting things like re-narrating the past is what we've been doing for our empowerment, for understanding what we've been through, understanding the wisdom that we gained from what we went through. But also the mind's been in a place where, you know, think about what happened in the last 3 weeks and realize that some things might be shifting, some things might be going, and some things might be staying. There's this opposition to the south node, and so it's just, and Mercury's opposing all of that like suppressed, repressed material. And so it can be almost like just not wanting to deal with the shadow in healthy, positive ways. The moon is making a lot of aspects to different planets, making opposition to Pluto. And so it's like the moon is in Leo today. We're having a Leo moon weekend. And so it's really that being in your heart. It's that playfulness, that childlike energy, that love, that play, but also like creating creations from a place of being your true vulnerable self. And it's trining Jupiter and Mars. And so the moon and Jupiter and Mars are all talking and saying, like, we want to be in that happy fireplace. This is all fire energy. It's all creation energy. It's all about like creating and moving your vision forward, you know, not being in the spell of society and the way society lives, but using a weekend, using a Friday or day the way that you see fit, the way that you want to use it in your business, the way that you want to do things. Like, you don't have to work a set schedule a certain way. Like, create and do what your intuition is asking you to do, because it will bring more happiness. It'll bring that connection to, because we are meant to create, we are meant to be in joy, we are meant to be happy. And a lot of people are living in that wound, and so we have to stop living in this wound. This moon is also making a square to Venus. And so it's a challenge to say, hey, like, what do I love? I want to be in my play and my happiness and my joy. And, you know, what do I love? And you know, Venus is what we attract to us. It's our desires being met. It's the beauty and the worthy things in life that are worthy, that make life beautiful, that make life worth living. That it's the food and the comforts and the beautiful clothing and the way we decorate our home, and it's like what makes us feel valuable and worthwhile. And so with the square to the moon, it's like our emotions are going to be upset if we're not valuing ourselves, and that's going to be churning up today. And Mercury being forward now and being direct is going to have the correct information about all of that, because it's in Taurus as well. So it's stronger, it's in Taurus, it's talking, it's our perception of our value, our self-love, where we've been lacking in that, where we have not been standing in that truth, where we've had blocks to it, and what those will be. And so we'll have a lot of information coming through today. There is this septile from Saturn to Chiron and Aries, and couple, I mean, there's like 4 septiles in this chart. There is a septile from Neptune to Uranus, and from Jupiter to Mercury. And so Jupiter and Mercury is this otherworldly kind of connection. It's like spirit is connecting Jupiter and Mercury. So your mind, your perception to your beliefs, which are different than thoughts. Beliefs are thoughts that you think over and over and over. And then they become beliefs, and they become like you know, they become automatic, and you don't realize that you're even playing them out. We have no, we play out our beliefs. So whatever our beliefs are, we play them out. So we want to understand our subconscious beliefs. And that's what we've been doing to this whole Mercury retrograde, is all this subconscious belief has been coming up, all this repressed material has been coming up. Lots of anger because of all the Aries energy has been coming up. And it's like, do you have healthy ways to deal with that anger? Do you have positive ways? And the septile from Jupiter to Mercury is this spirit coming in and saying, like, what are the beliefs that you want to move forward with in your life today? Because Saturn goes retrograde tomorrow. What are the beliefs about adventure, about life, about your relationships, about your sacred calling, about yourself, that are of this highest value, Mercury and Taurus, that are like, hold your quality and hold the value of who you are as truth, and claim the value of who you are, and say enough. And so spirit's there like saying, this is what's truth here. And so the north node in Taurus, our north node is the node of fate. It's where our destiny is headed as humanity. So, you know, our north node as humanity is dealing with all of these issues around abundance and self-worth and self-value, and also like making things beautiful. And, you know, are we making things beautiful? Are we living in a high quality society? Are we living in a beautiful society? There's so many cities that are run down. There's these old buildings that are not like historic. They're not handcrafted buildings or made with craftship. They're just falling apart. The siding's old. They just need to go. Like I was going through this one town, and I think Idaho, but I'm not sure. But I was going through this town. It was a small town, and there was this shop, little grocery shop, catty cornered from a big grocery shop. And it was like, this is the oldest, littlest town and littlest store in town, or something like that on the sign. But it's like, that would be cool if it was built out of wood, or if it was had craft ship to it. But it was run down. It was siding from the 70s. It wasn't kept clean. It wasn't kept up. It wasn't beautiful. It wasn't interesting. The windows were dingy and dirty, and like the old windows, it's like, I don't know if you can get those things to move now. And they were like yellowing. It's like, I don't want to fucking go into that store. It's like an old bait shop or something. Like, it's like, why would I want to go in there? I know if the building is kept like that, there's nothing in there of value to me. But you know, you go into other stores and it's quaint and beautiful, and there's these little shops that are older and are amazing. So that's what this Taurus North Node is really talking to us about. It's like, what are we doing with our value as humanity, and where are we growing? And we gotta, Taurus is the simplicity. Taurus is wholesome. Taurus is, you know, animals and love and great food and the comforts, and having what we need, and having not just what we need, but what we want that makes life good. Having what we want that makes life good and makes it, being on this planet, worth it. And doing this guideship, being a light goddess, guiding humanity forward into higher consciousness. And there's a septile from that to Black Moon Lilith, which is saying, divine feminine, raise up, rise into your empowered woman, stand in your empowered woman, speak your truth, do only what you want to do. Don't do what you don't love. Don't do what you don't want to do. Own your value. What are your values? Start to get to know your values. This Aries energy like knows what it likes and what it doesn't like. It's like, I like this, I don't like that. No. And some people are really taken aback by that, and feel like it's brusque, it's abrupt, it's rude, or whatever. And it's like, no, it's not. I just, like, I used to eat cheese, and when I ate cheese, I had a little bit of salad around my cheese, and they would always bring like a little tiny ramekin of cheese. I'm like, no, I asked for extra cheese. Can you give me like a big cup of cheese? Like, you want me to pay for it, whatever, but I want freaking cheese, man. I want a lot of cheese. And I even like stated that when I first asked for it, can you bring me like a big container about this size of cheese? And you know, and they keep bringing me these little ramekins, and it's like the people I was with at that time were just like admonishing me, and like, oh, and just like making this big fuss and whatever about. And I'm like, whoa, 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 you know, I want what I want. I'm happy to pay for it, but I want what I want. This is, I'm eating here. I'm trying to enjoy what I'm eating. Like, and that's Taurus, and that's Aries. It's like, it knows what it wants. It knows the it knows, like, this is what I want to eat. And there's nothing, it's like we have all these weird rules or like judgments that we put on to people, and we put on to ourselves for the way we live and for what we truly want, as if it's wrong. It's not wrong to have nice things. It's not wrong to have lots of money. It's not wrong to have what you want in life. It's not wrong to live the life you really want, to have lots of fun, to be on the path doing the real life that's from soul. So these septiles are metaphysical aspects. They're about soul and spirit speaking. They're otherworldly aspects. There's, it can be a flash of idea that comes in and then it's gone. So like take notes. It's, there's a septile to Mercury to Black Moon, from the North Node, and then from Mercury to Jupiter. And so it's like you might get flashes of insight and then they're gone in a moment. So take notes, voice memo, whatever. And Black Moon Lilith is really the goddess of standing in your power, not taking anybody's shit, not being subservient to other people or to men or to the masculine or to the status quo or to the domination culture, to what has always been, to really stand in your power and realize that energetically we have shifted. We've shifted into 5D, we've shifted out of patriarchy, but we have to now behave as if that's true. There is magic here today. And so it's so important to really be in this magic and be connected to your intuition and to really live from that place. Today, what's really important is to, I'm going to pull cards, is to really think about what you don't want in your life, what you do want in your life, and to make those cuts. What's really important about today is to be in that highest self-love and self-value, and to be understanding what we went through in Mercury and what you understood in Mercury retrograde. And, we got dance, to really be in the playfulness, to keep your vibration high organically. That doesn't mean avoiding the shadow. We have to face the shadow and to face what's real for us. And we have to have those tools to do so. We do that in Alchemical Goddess. If you would like to book a complimentary goddess call to inquire about Alchemical Goddess, my coaching program, you can do that at thegoddessastrologer.com. Also, I do astrology readings individually, and you are welcome to book that as well on thegoddessastrologer.com. So you have possibility, like believe in the possibilities, and you find the truth. You find the truth that you are a free, sovereign soul. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. You have a body. Your body is part of the vehicle for your soul to live out its purpose, to wrap up the karma. We're in a new time. This is ascension. This is the collective awakening that started in 2020. This is a different time. We're getting out of the matrix, out of the programming. So we have to deprogram every program inside of ourselves, which means that we have to face a lot of cognitive dissonance at times. Believe in possibilities, dream, be in that higher, raise your standards, it says, which is exactly what Taurus is all about. We have the Taurus North Node. Raise your standards. Like, why are you buying the cheap sheets? Buy the organic bamboo sheets. Buy the organic cotton sheets. Buy the bright colors you want. Who cares if it gets a stain on it? Live today what you want to live, and tell the universe, tell spirit what you want your life to be. I want the bright colors. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to wear black and gray and beige because I'm afraid it'll get a stain on it. I want the colors I really want that are fun and make me happy. I want the good sheets. Spend the extra 20, $40. When you tell the universe your value and you own your value and say, no, I am worth the good sheets. I am worth the good food. I'm going to stop skimping on the crap. Spirit acts, you co-create with spirit much differently, and spirit moves in your life really differently because you're saying, look, I am freaking worth this. I'm worth the good. And so spirit has to come in and bring more good and bring what you say you're worthy of and what your value is. It has to match that. It's not magical. It's literally that you are a divine being and you have this divine calling, and being connected to that, listening to your intuition and saying and owning your value as a person allows you to have this connection with spirit that brings in more to value you, because you're valuing you. So spirit values you, life values you, people around you value you. It's so important to stand in your value and own it. Now, it does trigger people. A lot of people don't have very high self-worth. So when you have high self-worth, it can be very triggering to other people. That's not your circus, not your monkeys, not your issue. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. So realize that you have unlimited potential, that you're a divine being, not a human being, that you are a soul, not just this matrix, automaton that came down here. So we keep getting the action card. So there's so much spirit is asking to take that aligned action from your intuition, that there shouldn't be space between your intuition and the action to do it. So just like you get that idea, do it right now, like pull over the car and write the page. Like go for the walk now, take a nap when you feel like you need it, go have this beautiful food today, like start the business. Like today's definitely the day to do those things, like start the business today, like make the LLC, make the phone call, like tell the person you love them, like do the things, take the action, don't hold back. We're not meant, we're creation, and we just have creation flowing through us, channeling through us constantly. We're not meant to be constipated with our creation. We're meant to just keep creating and having fun and it being beautiful and fun. And so support. You are divinely supported way more than you are probably utilizing. Talk to your guardian angel, talk to your guides, connect into your heart, use your spiritual gig bag. You learn about that in Alchemical Goddess and also in the Light Goddess Sisterhood. So it's like you have a spiritual gig bag that you've cultivated for years. Use that, ask for help, get more rest and nurture yourself. Like you have to be that self-nurturer. There's no one that's going to come in to do it. Part of the problem with women particularly is that we have stopped self-nurturing ourselves. Women have not been living inside their body, embodied within their body, feeling when it needs more rest, more water, to go to the bathroom, just simple things, that these clothes are uncomfortable, to get into comfortable clothes, to get out of the spiky heels and into something that makes your feet feel good, or to put the spiky heels on because you've been wearing them so long that your feet don't feel good flat, whatever it is, like just like listening to your body and what it needs. You can do so much good in this world when you are taking that self-nurturing of yourself. And we got gentleness, and this also keeps coming up, of being gentle with yourself as woman, being that divine feminine, gentle nurture to yourself, supporting yourself, loving yourself, not letting the mind tell you bad things about yourself, not letting negative self-talk run the game, not letting the mind run the show and be the driver in your car. Like putting the mind in its place in the back seat, in the car seat, and saying, no, my intuition, my heart is running the show. Not letting your mind beat you up, tell you you're wrong, tell you you suck, tell you you're not good enough, quick enough, fast enough, doing enough. Tell that mind, put it in its place, and self-coach that mind. And we do that work in Alchemical Goddess, we do that work in the Light Goddess Sisterhood, and tell that mind where to go, that's not true, we're not doing that anymore. And you have to keep changing that default neural pathway and that default thought over and over and over until the new thought becomes the default and you're in, or the new practice. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. I'm beautiful. I am amazing. I am proud of myself. Whatever the thoughts are that you want to make sure that you are believing and acting out in your life. Don't let that default brain, that habit brain, that fear brain run the show. We have celebration. It is time to celebrate life, to be alive, to be living, to be happy, to be having juice, to have smoothies, to have the food you want, to have the clothes you want, to live the life you want, to go for the walks, to go for the hikes, to go travel, to stop giving yourself excuses, but the kids, but the money, but the this, but the that. Make it work, figure it out, go do real life, celebrate life. Like, this is a time to really live are you going to be 80 and be like, man, I wish I would have just gone and done it and figured it out on the way? Because that's actually the adventure, which is all the Aries energy, which is take action, be on the adventure. You'll figure it out in the way and know that you're divinely supported by spirit. So we got all these cards, right? A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success, enjoy your achievements. So celebration, like enjoy your achievements, acknowledge your achievements, acknowledge yourself and the beauty, and being willing to grow, being willing to go into the shadow, being willing to change, being willing to step into your fears, being willing to face fears, being willing to love when people are hard to love, and maybe from a distance, but being willing to love, being willing to be in that light, in that higher frequency place, being willing to be the light goddess and be the guide for humanity. We are creating the new mythos. We are the ancestors to the generations coming behind us. The work we do here at this time of life will be remembered and it will be looked to. This is a powerful time to live your great life and to be on your vision, for your vision to be your lifestyle, not this destination goal, but to be living it now, living the dream now. I'm sending you so much love. The Light Goddess podcast is daily. The link is below. And there's so much goodness there. If you'd like to book an astrology reading, you can do that at thegoddessastrologer.com. And my Instagram, there's fun stuff there, and all the links are really easily you can easily get to the links there on my Instagram page at Peace Hotep. All right, I will talk to you in the next The Light Goddess Astrology Daily.